After my daughter was born, I made a big change to how I store my things, and now I could never go back. I feel like I have more space and I can actually see my stuff, especially my clothes, so I know what I have. And my house just looks nicer, more spacious, less cluttered and crowded. Hi, I'm Kate and I make videos about productivity and organization. Welcome back to my channel. What I've been up to this week is my big seasonal clothing switch, which is something I never bothered doing before having a baby. But with a baby, you have to do this. If you don't know, when you have a baby, especially your first, lots of people are going to want to bring you a gift, but they won't know what you need, so a lot will give you clothing. I ended up with clothing up to a 2-year-old size. Now bear with me for this story. I promise this is a video about adults and our stuff. So my girl was pretty small, and when she was born, she only fit into newborn size clothes. But pretty soon those got tight, and then I took out the 3-month clothes, then the 6-month, 9-month, 12-month, 18-month, and then 2T, T stands for toddler, 3T. I think the T's go all the way up to 10 in some stores, although 10 is obviously not a toddler. And for a baby, you really have to be doing like a real switch every so often when you take out the clothes that are too small and bring in the ones that fit now. For bigger kids, you can get away with not doing like a full switch and just kind of get rid of things as you see that they're not right, which is what most grown-ups do. But I think without the full switch, what'll happen is some things like real favorite items, you'll notice when they get too small. But a lot of items start to just get like a little tight, and then they get chosen less often. They work their way to the bottom of the pile or the back of the drawer, and they just kind of get forgotten back there. And this is how a kid can end up with a drawer literally overflowing with pants. But as far as they know, they only have 2 that actually fit. So if those 2 are dirty, they have nothing to wear. Okay, so the reason I started talking about kids is for them, it's really obvious that going through twice a year and getting rid of what's the wrong size or the wrong season, it just makes sense. It's like a really obvious thing to do. And maybe as you've been listening along, you had the same realization that I eventually had. I should do the same thing for me. So now I do a seasonal clothing switch, and more than clothes too. Over the years that I've been doing this, I've gone from just like putting some heavy sweaters in a box for summer to nowadays, I swap out like 1/3 to 1/4 of my possessions in terms of what's kept in like prime, easy to access locations. And the process is something I enjoy. I love seeing my favorite clothes again after not seeing them for 6 months. And side bonus here, I'm shopping a lot less because I feel like I have new things. So I only go buying new clothes when I have a specific need. So yes, doing a big switch like I do, it does take some hours, but it's just checking so many boxes, getting so many things done in that same process that it really feels like time well spent. While I'm doing this switch, I also, have the drawer empty for a moment, and that gives me a chance to wipe it out, which otherwise would be its own whole project. I'm going through my things and seeing what to donate. I'm going through that stack of pants and seeing what actually even fits anymore. So let me talk about some of the ways that I think I do a seasonal clothing change really well. One thing is I have a clothing rack down in our basement. And actually, beyond the seasonal switch, anytime I'm looking at something in my closet and I still like it enough that I'm not ready to get rid of it, but also I'm just not liking it right now, and I don't know when I'll wear it, it just gets moved down there. I'm not saying goodbye, but it's not taking up closet space anymore. And maybe when I bring it downstairs, I see the rack and something else kind of strikes my eye, ooh, I haven't worn you in a while, and I'll actually make a trade. But mostly I switch a big chunk of my closet out with each season. And as I mentioned, a side benefit of this whole process is it makes it easier for me to reduce. I never take something directly out of my closet and put it in the donate box. If I'm just not digging it anymore, it moves to the basement. If the next time I do a big season switch, I see that item and I'm still not really feeling like I want to put it in the regular rotation, now donating it feels safer. And the clothing rack is really nice. Mine was $8 from IKEA, just stupid cheap. I really like how I don't have to fold things and put them in a box. It gets rid of one step of friction. And also I really, really like how I can still see everything really easily down there compared to if it was all in the box. This makes me feel a little better about choosing things to go down there. That it's not everything that goes down to the basement is never coming back up again. I can see it, I can get it anytime. I also keep most of my fancy dresses down there because I just don't go to enough fancy events to justify giving them a significant portion of my closet. If I get invited to a wedding or something like that, I can just go down there and browse them there. Okay, now I promise to not just talk about clothes. We live in the Swiss Alps. I literally can't even see the sky out my window. The mountains cover it. And the activities we do in the summer versus the winter are very, very different. We have this nice built-in closet by our entryway, and younger me would have just kept all the things there all the time. They could physically fit if you squeeze a bit. Older me has 2 same size bins, one for the ski stuff, one for the lake stuff, and I literally just swap them out from the same spot in the closet. In the winter, one of those shelves holds our winter hats and gloves. In the summer, that same shelf holds summer hats, sidewalk chalk, and sand toys. A lot of the playgrounds here have these like really cool sand areas, but anyway. I've always been really good at fitting 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. It's like a weird brag. I don't think it's brag because it's such a weird skill, but like it is actually something like since childhood I've been like really good at this. But it's just so much nicer when you don't overfill every single space. When you can actually see your stuff and get to the stuff in the back without taking out the stuff in the front, and find things easily, and it's not a project. Maybe I've been too influenced by minimalists, but I think they're right that it's good for us to not be surrounded by like tons of stuff. And it feels good when your home isn't cluttered and crowded and you can see what you have and get to it easily. But I am a material girl. We live in a material world. I like my clothes, I like my stuff. Even stuff for like hobbies that I don't even do anymore. By being organized and switching out what gets to be in the prime, easy to access locations versus what gets stored away, I feel like I get to have my cake and eat it too, or as Italians say, have the wife drunk and the wine barrel still full. Now, I keep saying storage. I'm a software engineer, my partner's a civil engineer. We do all right. We have this really nice home, the big entryway closet I mentioned, this extra bedroom / home office. We also have like a laundry room / storage room, and of course the basement storage I mentioned a lot. But that certainly isn't how I've lived most of my life. We're also in a village now. I have lived in city centers from adulthood until moving here. So I know like in a city apartment, storage space is very few and far between. But still, even in my smallest city apartments, there were always spaces that could store something. They were just kind of annoying to access. Those are the spaces I'm talking about when I'm talking about putting things in storage, or your parents' house would also fit the bill if that's an option. These are places that, you can access if you need to, just kind of a little annoying, and it's the perfect place for things that you're probably not going to need for a while. And then by moving the stuff you don't need so much kind of away, that frees up those prime, easy to access areas. And it just looks so much nicer. And for me, it actually makes me feel better. I can actually see what I have and get it when I need it. And I don't keep buying the same stuff over and over again, forgetting that I already have so much. And just built into this process is the chance to do some cleaning and some reducing. I know certainly for me, it's a lot easier for me to get rid of something that's been in storage 6 months and where I still don't really want to put it in my closet, versus if it's been in my closet the whole time, maybe I haven't worn it for much, much longer, but I still kind of, I don't remember, and I'm not ready to say goodbye. Okay, I didn't mean for this to turn into a sales pitch for switching your stuff out by the seasons, but I just finished doing it for myself and for the kids. I'm just so happy with the results. I want to spread the good word. Thank you for watching to the end. Maybe give a little like, say hello in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you would probably also like some of my other home organization videos. So I'll link a whole playlist to them here, and I'll see you over there. Ciao.